From the beginning of the year, why do you guys know with this coaching staff that you guys are going to be so much better now than you were when you started? What's this staff done for you guys? How do you progress throughout the year with this staff?
Yeah, well, I feel like one that stats don't lie. So since I was like 8, I was seeing these coaches and this coaching staff and the guys that they were had access to and were coaching time and time again do just that. And I also think the biggest thing too is that it's not really like a mindset of peaking when it matters. I think it's just like it's an ever going process. You're constantly getting better, and that's I think why you see guys not just winning NCAA titles, but winning world titles and Olympic medals and Olympic gold medals. Bringing it when it always matters. Because it's not when it's not when it matters when this small time frame. It's always being a great wrestler, no matter if it's Thursday in the middle of the season or Saturday in June. You're always ready.
Mitchell, what are your thoughts on handling expectations when the public, the outsiders, have goals that they've set for you or any of your teammates? Just how do you kind of handle that so they don't weigh you down or anything?
Yeah, I think it's kind of silly to think that someone else is setting a goal for you, right? Like I think it's got to be intrinsically motivated, the things that you want to do in your life, whether that's wrestling or a job or whatever it is, right? Like you have to be the one that has to tell yourself what you want to do. And then I think on that same note that you said expectations, I think that comes from the same thing. Like you're only going to feel the expectations if you're putting them on yourself, or if you're accepting those expectations from other people. And I think the best thing, kind of backpacking off his question as well, like that's the best thing is that our coaches and the men and women around this team, there aren't expectations, as crazy as that sounds. It's just going out there and having fun. That I feel like is the expectation. And in terms of myself, I think the only expectation I have for myself is to always give my best effort, and that's how we can keep getting better and continue using the best coaching staff and the best partners in the world to keep getting better, because every time I go out there I am trying my best.
What's maybe one thing that you're looking forward to, or maybe stuck in your mind that you're going to take into this second big tournament now?
Probably just the levels that were jumped from last year to this year. The day in and day out thing of I think the biggest thing is when you do it the right way, wrestling that is, and you're constantly getting better, and how I hinted at ever growing and ever getting better. I think the biggest thing, when you do it the right way, you don't have to take months off at a time. And so when I say from the difference from last year to this year, there is a huge difference, because I haven't had to I hate wrestling, I need to take a break or anything like that. It's just been a constant love and growing that love and keep getting better and enjoying it. And now it doesn't even feel like it's March. It feels like it feels just as much as July, when it was just keep getting better and enjoying it.
Mitchell, who was your favorite collegiate wrestler growing up, if you had one? And how much of that how much of that came from watching them in the postseason and in tournaments?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be all the Penn State guys. I really like Nolf, I really like David Taylor and Ruth, and I really liked Bo Nickel and Zane. And I think just, like his question was just where does that kind of trust, I guess, in our process here of peaking at the right time. I've seen it literally my entire life. Remembering those guys doing it, I feel like not even just doing it at the end, but doing it every single time they step out there. And I feel like that's kind of what we're talking about. Just like no matter if it's freestyle or folk style, they're always bringing it. And that's what I want to do too.
Have you ever allowed yourself to think at this point? I know this is year 2 for you, but the more I do, like this is when those young guys, right, where I used to be, the eyes are really going to be on us at this time of year, and maybe I'm in that category at this point. To be able to inspire.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's that maybe clicks for like a second, but I feel like our job is to be humble, and because I feel like if I'm giving too much light into that, too much emphasis on that of being a role model or being a leader or enjoying the attention, what happens when that goes in 2 years, right? Like if you're backing on that and you're loving that, and it's time to be a dad or just work a regular job, then it's like it seems like you're kind of setting yourself up for like a sad life. So I try not to exactly. So I'm trying not to even create that hole.
Mitchell, are you a fan of the UFC? You mentioned about being a fan of Bo Nickel. There's some rumors that you might have a new fight coming up soon, and just wanted to know if you're a fan of the UFC and what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, I think any combat sport is cool, especially when it's like a gladiator-esque kind of feel when they go out there and it's just you two out there. Yeah, individual combat sports are really cool. Just the mental aspect of all of it and the physical aspect of it. But I don't think I'm ever going to do it, but I think it's cool. I like, I have respect for those guys and that, they're warriors and the gladiators and they bring it.
Go ahead.
When you get to this point in the season, is there, when you look at when the bracket's finalized, do you look at, I definitely want to wrestle this guy at some point, or you just whomever, as long as I get to the Big Ten championship, as long as I get to the NCAA championship, whomever's in my way, I just want to wrestle them?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I don't even look at the bracket. I don't even know. It's like minutes before my bout, I'll be like, Coach Casey or Coach Kale or Coach Cody, like, hey, could you tell me my bout number? Because I don't really even pay attention to it. In my eyes, it should be, whoever steps out there, that's, look at their lead leg and then go. You know what I mean? So I think that's the fun part about it is that, there's, I wish I could wrestle this guy and this guy, but honestly, whoever steps out there, that's the battle at hand that I really enjoy.
We asked Caleb a little bit about some of the extra ancillary guys that you guys will bring along with you to the Big Ten tournament. He said that you haven't really made that decision yet. What input would you give the coaching staff on, let's bring this guy along to give me this look, or how does that shake out?
Probably no input. Whoever they bring in.
If they asked you.
Yeah. Well, usually whoever they bring in, the decisions they make, I can have complete 100% trust in that's the best and soundest decision that they're gonna make, and that it's the best decision for us too. And that the latter there, the best decision for us and the team. That's what I feel like every decision they make is for. So it usually is no input. I just usually listen to what they say and who they bring along.
Would you say that, coming full circle from watching Penn State guys in the postseason to now, and then being able to realize that your coaching staff and everyone around this team has all faith in you and you can trust them, is it easy for you to, like you said, just have fun and wrestle your best that you can?
Yeah, definitely, because it's hard to explain that, like having it be your dream to wrestle here, and then it's just a very surreal, odd thing to explain, because it's hard to explain that surrealness. And so I think what you said, like having fun and enjoying it, is really the only thing left to do, because there's so much that you could pick apart and think about, that all the people, like kind of the questions your guys are asking, there's so much you could try to pinpoint and think about, and did that help this or whatever. And at the end of the day, it's kind of just like there's so much stuff that you could think about that why not just enjoy it, right?
All right, are we good? Anybody have one other we want to get, or we all right?
Yeah, I'll throw one in there. Levi Haines, he's moved up from 157 to 174. Just as a sparring partner, as somebody to train with in the mat room, just what's it been like? How would you describe how Levi Haines makes you better and how you think you make him better?
Yeah, that's a really good buddy of mine. And honestly, we talk about this a lot. When I first got here, my visit, I had sat on the bleachers, and before one of the practices, he talked to me before they all went out and wrestled, and I was just watching. He was like, we were talking in his humility and everything, because we had wrestled a little bit prior to that, and just kind of like the way he was able to just be like a mature adult about it and still be a good man and kind to me and saying, we really want you here and everything. He was kind of the one that put the nail in the coffin that I was like, yeah, I'm coming here. Like I want to do it, because it was like 30 seconds later that when they started, I went up to my dad at the top of the bleachers and I was like, I want to come here. So I think it's really cool to have that as your kind of your foundation of your relationship, and then you can only build up from there. You know, there's not a coincidence that, you know, we have really good guys and that they can go out and do what they do. It's not a coincidence that you know, we don't touch each other, we don't wrestle. It's like, no, we're in there helping each other out, talking about technique or whatever it is, giving each other feels. We all know the ego is removed, right, so that we can get better, because we all care about the common goal that all these questions keep asking is just getting better, right? And so it is great to win Big Tens and NCAAs or Olympics or Worlds and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like, I want to be the best that I can be at this sport, and having that common goal, it makes it really easy to be, you know, best buddies with guys like, you know, Levi and Carter, or you name them. Any guy in the room wants that, and that's, again, speaks to the great decisions of the coaches on who they recruit, and seeing what the why of the guys, why they want to be in here and what they want to do.
Levi, case that get you up in the tree stand yet?
Not yet.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys.
Mitchell.
Thanks, man.